Maiden songs too. I love Phantom of the Opera. It's hard to decipher which is better, the live version or the studio version. So, which is weird for how the Halloween season. The convention we did was Exotica this weekend, and I know it's an adult film convention and a lot of boobs and butts. Big butts. Oh my! I saw some backsides that had zip codes. So we're staying with my friend Taylor, who has a Sphinx cat. It's one of those Egyptian cats that's completely hairless. And I couldn't help, every time I looked at this thing, I would giggle, because there's this TikTok video where the guy's working underneath the sink and his wife comes over, she's wearing a dress, and she lifts up her dress, and he comes up, and now he can see up her dress. And when it cuts away, it has the cat, the hairless cat, and he's like, is text still here? It says, pussy cat. Just add the cat on that. I don't want to offend anyone. So on Thursday night, so we're hanging out with her after we set up. We got to carve pumpkins and have drinks. Angela enjoyed her drinks.
I did.
And her neighbor has energy, like so much energy. But she was so pleasant. She's like, make sure you had a drink, you had food. They bought us pumpkins because they knew we were coming from out of town, so that was very nice of them. And her neighbor comes over, and this whole interaction was because of a misunderstanding of a text message. She says, you need to get your priorities straight, you need to come over and have fun. LOL, ha ha ha. Now she comes over, and she's like, oh, you're here, and she's like, girl, don't you test my patience. And every time we saw her that weekend, that's what I said to her. And she kept laughing about it, because she said, don't think I'm a bitch. And she goes, this girl was texting me, and she's saying like this, and she's telling me to get my priorities straight. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I'll play mediator here, because I can understand if you send a text message and it's the wrong thing. I'm like, was LOL and in the text message? She goes, yeah. And her friend goes, also ha ha ha. I'm like, yeah, you should have read it. Not that I've ever read a text message wrong and gotten, pissed off at someone. But, okay.
Haven't we all?
When we travel, my mom watches my cat named Victor Frankenstein, and I get horror-themed text messages from my mother, so I figured I would share some because I think they're really amusing. And the first one I got this weekend was, it's like Poltergeist here. All the drawers and cabinets are open in the house. Now, he learned that at my parents' house, not here. But then I get text messages like this while I'm working. Now he's in my sink. He's sleeping on my dining room table. He just stalked and killed a palmetto bug. Which, let's face it, palmetto bug is literally just a North Carolina high-class word for a cockroach. They're a cockroach, not palmetto bugs. Get over it, you have cockroaches. Then there's a text where, we can't find him, but we can hear him. Don't worry. He's sleeping on my dining room table, and then this is the one that made me really worried. Everything in the closet has collapsed. And I said that's why. It's those weird ones where you have it's the wire tops, and you put the bottom thing on, but it goes in and hooks down. I feel like it should hook up. I don't know. They're pieces of junk. They always break.
We keep our palmetto bugs in the fake drawers.
Cockroaches. So, literally 10 years ago, I did this show called the Steampunk World's Fair, and I pulled a muscle in my arm, and I was in agony. And a friend of mine goes, hold on, let me get my friend. She practices Chinese medicine. So, by that, she comes up and she goes, this is Chinese therapy. What that translates to is she beat the shit out of me. She grabs my arm, twists it, slams me into a wall. Turns me around, flips me, now I'm on the floor. My arm is twisted. She takes both my shoulder blades, cracks them together, flips me over. While she's on back, punches me in the chest again. And she goes, honey, her boyfriend had to come behind her to basically hold her dress so she's not giving everyone behind her a free show of the goods. I go back to my room and I'm laying there and I have this throbbing, pulsating pain in my arm.
I wonder why.
I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack, but I realize it's my right arm, so I'm okay. What was that?
So I wonder why.
Shut up. So I'm laying there thinking, I'm like, okay, it's my right arm, I'm good. And then I fall asleep. I wake up the next morning. I come out of my hotel room. She's right in across the hall coming out of her hotel room. I'm like, you stay away from me? And she just starts laughing. I'm like, I'm so glad my pain brings you laughter. So this is a haunted house idea we came up with about 15 years ago, maybe longer. My friend's girlfriend said, I want to dress up like Little Red Riding Hood. My boyfriend could dress up as the Big Bad Wolf. And I'm going to be running through the haunted house. So when people stop me, he goes, Little Red, are you running away from the Big Bad Wolf? No, I'm looking for the Big Bad Wolf. I'm waiting. I'm not saying this while they're right there. You know what? They're not going to know what I'm talking about. So she says, no, I'm looking for the Big Bad Wolf. He's going to eat me like he said he would. That joke was very popular in Exotica. I heard that. This was a random thought I have because when I walk around my house when there's no one to talk to, I come up with these strange thoughts. What's scarier than a father with an axe?
What?
A mother saying your full name and then following up with, get your ass down here now.
True.
There's nothing that sends that cold chill right up your spine. So I'll end my spooky season show list with one of the lists because I know Mavric likes lists. And before I do the list, I wrote a list of funny kills in the Friday the 13th series. But there's one kill that's been put in all the Halloween movies, or almost all the Halloween movies. When Michael Myers is holding someone up by the neck, takes that steak knife, shoves it right through them, and now they're a wall decoration. I'm sorry, but that's funny. So funny, I started with part 2 because the original Friday the 13th, there was really no funny kills unless it's explained what happens. Like the Kevin Bacon scene when he gets the arrow through the throat, the reason why the blood shoots out, that's really funny because Tom Savini and the other makeup artist who was working on it, the compressor broke. So Tom just grabs the tube and blows into it, and that's why all the blood just shot right out of the guy's neck. That wasn't supposed to happen. So funny kill, there's 2 funny kills in part 2. There's a guy that got stuck in the bear trap that's hanging upside down in the tree, and the kid that gets killed in the wheelchair. Now why is this funny? Because if you watch the scene very carefully, the machete is backwards. The sharp part is not what goes into them. Part 3, if you haven't seen it, there's a scene where Jason's crushing this guy's head, and part 3 was 3D. So so all of a sudden you see it's a real person, then you can see it's just a guy. You can tell it's a fake dummy, and the guy boing just shoots right out at it. Everything in that movie is just like right out. There was another one that was just as funny. A girl gets shot in the eye with a harpoon. Now the only reason why that is funny is because of how she dies. It's like, stop that! Shoot! She gets it right in the eye, and then falls over. These are the things that bring me joy. But part 4, this is the one that hurts men, and just because of our reaction is why I find it so tremendously funny. There's a guy, he just finds out his girlfriend got killed on the raft, so he swims over to the dock, and he gets a harpoon gun right in the beanbag, and lift it up. Now, the first time I saw, yes, and the first time I saw that, I was in 4th grade, and I didn't fully understand it. Then I watch it as an adult, and I'm like, ow, but then I watch all the other guys like, I can't handle it. Now, part 5, there was a guy that was kind of, his character was slow, so he's riding around on a motorcycle, and he's like, he got beat up by someone, he's like, they hurt me bad, Mom, they hurt me bad. The guy that was, because it's a fake Jason in part 5, Guy holds out a meat cleaver and just takes his head right off, and then it just starts rolling, and I thought that was really funny. But the funniest kill in that movie is the guy who gets killed in the porta-john, because that's a horrible, horrible way to go. Okay, I'm gonna wait and see if anyone's uncomfortable by that. Part 6 was one of my favorites because he pulls one girl out of a window, sits her down, and literally just twists her head right off, and I just thought it was really funny the way they did that. But then he goes back into the cabin and literally paints a cabin with a camp counselor. You're seeing the outside of the cabin. She gets thrown through the window. Jason comes back out, grabs her, like, I'm not done with you. And you see the cabin later, and it looks like a Jason Pollock painting, but it's all done in blood. The only color is because of what's hanging on the walls. And of course, the scene where the sheriff gets broken in half, which is C.J. Graham's favorite kill. And yes, every Jason I've met, I know their favorite kill. Because I'm sick and I ask the questions. Part 7 is the sleeping bag kill. He just picks a girl, hits her in the tree with the tree in the sleeping bag once. And that was the only good thing the censors did for us in the 80s, because he was supposed to be beating her relentlessly, but I think it's just like, bang, dead. Part 8, which is, I know we're getting ridiculous at this point, Jason Takes Manhattan. The first make, because it really should have been called Jason on a Boat, because 75% of the movie is on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
I wish I was on a boat at this point. The first mate gets killed with a harpoon. Now, when you see him dead, it's sticking out of his back, but when he gets killed, it looks like he's getting stabbed right in the butt. And it's just really funny to me. And of course, there's always that one asshole character, and it was one of the teachers that was one of the chaperones on the bus, on the boat, bus, whatever. We're talking about school. Who cares? Picks him up and puts him head first into a container of toxic waste. And just, if you ever watch documentaries on these, the filming of the killing, it's just so much funnier than actually in the actual movie. Jason Goes to Hell. The guy, Leslie Jordan passed away this weekend, and the woman that played his wife, she gets elbowed in the chin. Just the way she died was funny. And then Jason Goes to Space, Jason X. A lot of people hate on that one. I don't care. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. But the first kill in the future, he holds a girl's face in liquid nitrogen, pulls it out, and it looks like a snowball face with an O face, and then just smashes it. And of course, Mythbusters had to do a thing on that, proving that you can't do that in real life. It's a horror movie mixed with sci-fi and space. We know it can't really happen. And that is my set. And also, Angela dared me to do this. I read my notes to her, and I did that after I was done with the notes. She goes, I dare you to do that. I'm like, don't dare me, you know I'll do it.
The man who knows no shame, make some noise for Horror Show Jack.